2024 Republican field starting to narrow just a smidge, posing big questions for the candidates still remaining. Former Vice President Mike Pence, he's out. He's yet to throw his support behind another candidate. Meanwhile, conservative radio host Larry Elder also saying, not this time. But he is now endorsing former President Trump. On the Democratic side, Congressman and multimillionaire businessman Dean Phillips moving ahead with his primary challenge of President Biden. Then this, California Governor Gavin Nome, who is not a candidate, still raising eyebrows with his high-profile visits to China and Israel, even joking to reporters that he wished he was president. Wishful thinking. White House columnist for The Hill, Niall Stanage. You know, as my mother would say, there's nothing new under the sun. Gavin Nome looking very familiar. I felt like deja vu here, patterning what I would have said somebody who's going to announce a run would look like Governor DeSantis when he made his international trips.
Well, possibly, but I think in Governor Newsom's case, it's more equivalent to an understudy in acting, right? He's really positioning himself to be the alternative if, for any reason, President Biden didn't go forward with a run. And I think a lot of that's to do with the whole risk-reward calculus here, Adrienne. If you run against President Biden as a Democrat, you're likely going to lose. If you win, you'll still be accused of disloyalty. Whereas if you're a comparatively youthful man like Governor Newsom, you can just wait 4 years, and whether President Biden wins or not, there's going to be likely a Democratic vacancy.
Well, since you mentioned it, in terms of Dean Phillips, does he look like he would make a lot of enemies on both sides? Because he's saying, you know, I love the president, I love President Biden, I honor him, and yet he's too old.
Yeah, it's not an argument that is exactly designed to gladden Democratic hearts, I would say. It is a real problem, not because Dean Phillips has any realistic chance of winning the Democratic nomination, but because he greatly strengthens the argument that we hear again and again, which is exactly what you just said, the idea that President Biden is too old. Now what you're going to have is Republicans or conservatives able to say even a Democrat, and a centrist Democrat at that, is running for president because he believes this too. He believes the president is too old. That is just a political problem because it strengthens the message that is aimed at the president's greatest vulnerability.
President Trump, of course, not staying quiet here, saying that Mike Pence should endorse him now that he's out of the race. Of course he says that, but is it likely?
It is not likely because obviously the former vice president has been increasingly critical of former President Trump, particularly pertaining to events around January the 6th. If Pence endorses, I think it's much more likely to be a candidate like, say, Nikki Haley, the former UN ambassador. But, you know, not to be completely skeptical, there is a pretty large question mark over how much Pence's endorsement matters. He was polling at around 4% in national polls, so it's not as if he has huge Pence battalions to deploy at the side of anyone else.
Well, and there's some people who would probably say Nikki Haley, as popular as she is in some circles, is still considered quite a long shot. But then you have former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger saying he'd like to see Joe Manchin run as a centrist candidate. Is that the long shot of all long shots?
I think it is. You know, polling sometimes shows that people would prefer a third option. But once you name who that option is, the popularity of it goes way down. People love to imagine a third option of their own choosing. Joe Manchin, obviously a very, very centrist Democrat. The difficulty, I think, for him is there isn't this pro-Manchin constituency. Republicans sometimes find him useful for their own purposes. Democrats sometimes get frustrated by him. But is there really a constituency for Joe Manchin for president? That's pretty difficult to see, with all due respect to Mr. Schwarzenegger.
All due respect, always. Thank you, Niall. Good to see you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.